Hi, my name is Marilyn Coffer. I am a junior at North Carolina Central University. I'm working on earning my bachelor's in psychology. For years, I really had no idea what I wanted to do professionally. I could see myself being happy at a lot of different things, but nothing that just gave me that deeper sense of purpose until I had my own kids. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself at the moment. So I started taking a couple of phlebotomy courses at 18, which a phlebotomist is someone who draws blood. I did an internship at 19. I got hired just after my 20th birthday. I worked inpatient for 3 years, and then I went to outpatient. And as a supervisor, I had applied for the job after a coworker had encouraged me, not thinking that I would get it at all. She just had recommended that I practice my interview skills, and so I did. And the whole time I thought, I'm not going to get it anyway, so I'm not going to be nervous. This is just practice. And somehow it still surprises me. I ended up getting the position. I oversaw 80 employees and 16 outpatient labs. I did everything from payroll to launching our laboratory software system and quality insurance and project management and customer service recovery. I did graphs. I was very active in phlebotomy standardization across all the different locations. And I really did a lot more than I was ever meant for that job, but I really enjoyed it. But I knew that without a degree, there was only so far that I could go, and that I needed to pursue my bachelor's degree. And so I went back to school, still kind of not sure what I wanted to do. My second semester, I got pregnant with my oldest, and I had planned to just take 1 semester off, but I had a very rough transition to motherhood. I still say 0 to 1 was by far my hardest transition ever. And by the time I felt normal again, it took me to about a year, and then I found out I was pregnant again. I said, okay, I'm going to definitely put more space between the next one, and I did not. So I ended up having 3 babies in 3 years, and so I did not return to my job, and I did not return to school up till January 2026. I also had my 4th child in 2021, my 4th and final child. The decade gap in my education is because I was a stay-at-home mom during that time. And in the process of these diagnoses, my husband was also diagnosed with level 2 autism, and I was diagnosed with severe ADHD and moderate dyslexia. My husband was initially very resistant to getting any of our kids' neuropsych testing and going through one for himself, but eventually he had warmed up, and now his only regret is that he did not do it sooner. I have seen what early intervention can do firsthand, and getting a diagnosis opens lots and lots of doors. Some therapies are not available unless you have a specific autism diagnosis. One of my children was non-speaking for the first few years. Even if he cried, it would just be silent. It would just be tears. He loves music. He loves to sing now, and he talks nonstop. And it has been wonderful to see him go from using a communication device to showing preference for spoken word and singing and all of that. Just having that understanding about yourself, and finally understanding yourself for the first time, and you realize that you've been carrying around this shame of like, oh, something's different, but you don't really know, and you don't know why you're struggling so much. And so getting that information was so helpful for me. In North Carolina, you actually don't need to be a PhD to do neurological testing. You can actually get your master's after getting your bachelor's and get 4,000 supervised hours. And then you can apply to be a licensed professional associate, which means you can practice independently without a PhD in North Carolina. I plan to do mostly neurological testing, but I would also like to do some executive function coaching and some one-on-one counseling. And I definitely want to get a therapy dog for my practice to help support clients. I'm really excited to see that we're making so much progress when it comes to embracing neurodiversity. Thank you so much for watching the preview to my portfolio. I hope you enjoyed.